Alright, this is the second video about Visor. I'm going to show you the basics of the editor and how to modify and change different things. So I'm on the main website, patches.visor.io. If you don't have an account, you should go to sign up and create an account. I already have one, so I'm going to sign into mine. So Grady. Alright, so here I am logged into mine. So there's two types of projects. There's what's called a public project, which means that anybody who wants to can see it, and then there's what's called a private project, which you can only see when you're signed in. I'm going to create a public project right now. So when you make a new project, Visor kind of gives you a basic setup, which looks like this. There's a light thing in the middle. There's pillars, and then there's a little VR guy in the center. So let's go over the basics. If you do two fingers back and forth like you're scrolling on a website, what that will do is zoom in and zoom out. If you zoom out really, really far, you can see that the world is actually a sphere. And then we'll zoom all the way back in. If you do a single mouse click, it will rotate your image. And now we can zoom in a little bit and see this VR guy even better. What else? If you do, this one's a little bit harder, but if you do two fingers at the same time, you can pan, which is like you're grabbing the screen and just moving it up, down, left, and right. It's also called strafing in video games. So zoom in and out, you're kind of rotating in different directions, and then two fingers gives you the pan effect. So this guy in the middle right now actually looks like a head with a virtual reality gear on it. That's what the user is going to see when they're in your virtual reality world. So I'm going to minimize this right now. So if I look at the bottom right, I have what's called the camera editor and then the VR camera. Right now I'm in the editor camera, which is where you change stuff. If I click the VR camera, I'm actually in the place of the user. So you can see the head with the VR is no longer there. When you're editing and changing things, you actually want to be in the editor camera. Alright, so make sure you try that out. Alright, so let's work on moving things and adding some items and that sort of thing. So also something that's cool is you can move all the menus around. You can minimize them to get them out of the way. This one's called objects and patches. So let's start with objects. So right now I'm on the build screen, which is where you can add new things. The program screen, which we're going to talk about later, is where you can modify things. So let's go to the build screen. So let's add a basic object. I'm just going to click on box, and I'm going to drag it onto the screen. So what this will do is just literally add box to the screen. And let's add something a little bit cooler. Objects, buildings. Let's try building 6. Whoa. There we go. Super cool. Alright, and so big that we can no longer see our box. But that's fine. Alright, so right now I'm clicking on building 6, and you can see that he has 3 coordinate directions. There's blue, red, and green. So if I click on the red one and move it left and right, it'll actually move the object left and right. If we move it, we can actually see our cube again. Okay, if I click the green one, it goes up and down. And if I click the blue one, it goes away from me and towards. Very useful. Another one we can do, so that was the move. I'm looking towards the top up here. That was move. Okay, the other one that we'll want to use is scale and rotate. So if you click on scale, if I click on green, it stretches it vertically. The red one, stretches it horizontally. The blue one stretches it towards me and away. You also can click right in the middle, and it'll keep everything proportional, which is nice. So if I click on the cube, zoom in a little bit, if I want to make it bigger but I want it to stay a cube, I have to use the one in the middle so it stays as a cube. If I just grab the green one, it just gets tall and it's no longer a cube. Okay, rotate, you can probably guess, will rotate the objects. So if you look at the move, if I'll move right now, we have green, red, and blue. So if we click on rotate, we still have green, red, red and blue. It's a little bit harder to see. So if I click on green, it's rotating kind of counterclockwise and clockwise if I'm looking down. It rotates around that green axis. The red will rotate around the red axis, and the blue will rotate around the blue axis. Okay, so we have now covered move, scale, and rotate, which are pretty standard things that you want to know, and we've covered how to add objects. You can go through, add a bunch of things. You can add garden road. I'm just picking these randomly. There's a little crazy road, grass slope. There we go. Okay. If I'm unhappy with it, you can kind of move stuff around. If I want this green to be bigger, because I want it to cover the road, I can scale it. This is terrible. I'm just gonna click on that, hit delete to get rid of it. Anyways, I think you guys get the points. Alright, so now we've covered adding elements and modifying them a little bit. Another useful thing you can do is cut, copy, and paste. So let's say I really like this greenhouse and I want another one. I can do Command C, which is copy, just like in Word or PowerPoint. So click on the object, Command C to copy it, and then I can do Command V to paste it. And it looks like nothing happens, but actually it made a copy right on top of the other copy, the original version. So now I have two. So if I want to duplicate my cube, Command C, I'm going to hit Command V twice, and that should have actually made two copies of it. There we go. Awesome. Alright, so now that we've done something worthwhile, let's go over how to save it, which is called publishing. So if I click publish, I'm going to give it a file name. I'm going to call it Dr. OG test 1. You can see it's marked as private right now. If I click on it, changes it to public. I want it to be public so that anyone can go to it right now. I'm going to click publish. It's going to upload it. Okay, so now it's showing me this is what the virtual reality world looks like if you are the user. That black line is the road, which you can't really see from where you are right now. If I had this in Google Cardboard on a cell phone, I could click there, and it would it would look really awesome. Alright, and if I want to get back to how to modify it, you can click on the pencil, and it'll bring me back to the place where I can make changes. Alright, if I go over to the right and I click on my username, I can go to my files. Do you want to leave this site? This is because I was still in edit mode. I'm going to leave it. And here you can see files that I have done. So this is the one that we were just working on, which is Dr. OG test 1. What I'm going to do is just show you the difference between public and private. So I'm going to copy the URL for all my projects, and I'm going to go to Firefox where I'm not signed in. I'm going to paste it, and you can see there's only these 6 public projects, whereas when I'm signed in you can see both the public and the private. So now that you've learned how to do some basic things, your goal is to make something worthwhile with some sort of theme and publish it, and then we're going to look at it using the Google Cardboard.